Loren, how do you do Backroll Kiteloop? Walk us through the process.
I think you start slow and low. So you want to do like a maybe 1 to 2 meter jump. Very upwind. You edge up into the wind, you rotate your body, and then you pull it. And then as you scale it higher and higher and higher, you're going to be able to your body's going to be able to turn around a little more, and then after a little while, you'll be high enough that you can actually see the kite as you're moving it. Coming up, edging really hard upwind. First of all, you don't want the kite to go past 12, right? So you want to make sure that you're taking off on your back roll as the kite's coming through probably like 11:30, and you'll feel it, and then you're edging up. And you don't want to do like a normal back roll where you're throwing yourself around. You're kind of just like carving up and like letting a very slow rotation come around. You're looking to the right, and then about right there where your back is to the water, you're looking to the left. So that if you look to the left the entire time, you're going to spin quickly. And then when you feel the kite's at 12, it feels like right overhead. You look, and you see it, and you pull the loop. And then you'll feel when the kite stops coming around, and then sheet out right away. And it's really important to sheet out right away. On a nice takeoff, you want to make sure you're taking off probably with the kite at say 11:30 or something like that, not past 12, because otherwise the kite's going to get way behind you. And then you're not going to get a nice solid tension, right?
Okay.
Sheeting out. Tension, like when the kite starts to loop, you're going to tense your entire core. You're not just going to be floppity or like jiggly jiggly. You're going to be like tension that core as the kite's looping around, and that's going to stop your rotations. My shoulders are kind of perpendicular to where the loop is. That's kind of the best position. And then just as the loop hits you, you're going to clench your core, and that's going to stop your rotation. And it's maybe going to pull you a little bit out, but not much. If you over rotate a little bit, you just land on your other side. And the other thing is make sure you have a good jump. You feel like it's a proper upwind jump, and you're not rotating super quickly. Your edge has to come off the water just as like you would do a normal kite loop. If you feel like you've lost your edge and you're starting to do a spin, you're bored.
When you're going for it though, you're thinking you're going for like a normal jump? Or are you thinking you're going for...
No, I'm thinking you're going for a backroll kiteloop, but it's pretty much the takeoff is very similar. Maybe a little bit more pop to get yourself in rotation. Probably when I'm taking off the water, my shoulders, my right shoulder, if I'm going to the left, is even, like it's also perpendicular to the wind. That's kind of my takeoff position, or maybe a little less than that. Mm-hmm. Just coming up, and then you're rotating in the air, you feel it. Now you can see, you loop. Okay. And you only loop it, and if it goes wrong, it's totally fine. If you feel there's no tension there, you send the kite to the right, immediately pulling it hard to the left. Bail on the loop. You don't feel the tension. If you don't feel that takeoff is decently high, you can see, if you're looking down or like that to the water, you can see your height, looks good, feel tension, looks good. You send it, bar fully in, left hand out, right hand in. Yeah.
When would you know that you're ready?
Well, I think you start low, right? Like so you start at like 1-2 meter backroll Kiteloops, and those ones like you're gonna let your body get pulled around a little more by the kite because you're not gonna have as much rotation, but you'll still feel that core thing. You'll still feel that good takeoff because like even at 2 meters, if you have a good takeoff, the kite's gonna loop under tension. It's gonna be great, right? Okay. A shitty takeoff, like imagine you're like going downwind or something like that. You do a backroll, you're not gonna feel any tension. Kind of, again, you'll feel the kite. If it gets too far down, when you loop it, there's not going to be much, right? So you want to make sure that kite's at 12:30. You can add all of those pieces, in lighter wind, lower off the ground, like 1 meter to 2 meters. All the same, right? It's just a matter of how fast you rotate. So as you go higher, you need to rotate slower. But even on the low ones, the tensing of the core as the kite loops is super important. That's probably one of the biggest mistakes people tense that core. They're not squaring themselves off to stop the rotation as the kite loops. And especially never pull the kite fully backwards. If you're fully backwards, when you pull the kite, it's either going to stall you, if you don't let it, or it's going to really start swaying back and forth.
Well, I guess the last thing that I want to ask is, for people, it's like, what's the progression for this? Like, what should you do first before you even attempt that?
Well, you should be able to do kite loops,
Okay.
obviously, and you need to be able to, like, so probably backroll transition is like first move.
Okay.
Obviously, you do a backroll, then you do a backroll transition. Backroll transition is great because it gives you the feeling of going into a backroll while doing an upward jump. So nice backroll transition. You don't have to loop the kite. You can just bring the kite over the window and do a dive with the kite out.
Okay.
That's a great start. So you build up from there, and then you start doing your low backroll kite loops. 1 to 2 meter jumps.
Start on a small kite.
Start on a small kite, exactly.
How do you do backroll kite?
Well, you jump, and once you've done half a turn, you loop it.
The takeoff, right?
Takeoff.
It's all about the
takeoff.
For jumping?
Always, yeah. You want to go high, jump vertical.
Okay.
Same takeoff.
How do you jump vertical?
Edge hard. Pull in the bar. After, send it hard.
Okay. What do you mean edge hard? Go upwind or like just edge with your ankles?
Keep the tension in the lines.
The tension
Then
in the
edge
line.
hard upwind. Yeah.